There is a role for risk assessment in psychiatry, particularly for predicting adverse outcomes. We have higher rates of adverse outcomes than the general population, and in particular suicide and violence are important adverse outcomes which we need to have improved ways of assessing. And I think what big data can do, and using the big data to create decision-making tools, simple, scalable, evidence-based decision-making tools, is that they allow us to try and stratify patients into people that need more assessment and more treatment, and those people that we can safely screen out. And by safely screening out, I mean people that we know are very low risk, who don't need further assessment intervention for those particular outcomes. So my talk really was just to present, I think, a new wave of evidence to say that these you can do this, you can do it in an evidence-based way, and if it's linked to particularly non-harmful interventions, it does have a role, I think, in the future of psychiatry, and in particular for prognosis, for risk of violence and risk of suicide. They're the two ones that I've been working on, and they're the two ones that I think these tools do have a role to play in improving how we do our assessments, anchoring our decisions in more empirical data, and sort of raising the ceiling of our assessments as well, so that there's a sort of good baseline that clinicians can work on. And ultimately, as I said in my talk, the key thing is that these tools should be used with people, so with human being decision making. They're not replacing human beings, they are combining in combination with clinical decision making. These tools have a role, I think, going forward. I think big data can help us. I think the key thing, though, is that it's not just about risk assessment. It has to be risk assessment linked to an intervention. So we can predict risk better using big data, but if you don't improve how that's translated into better treatment, better management, then it won't improve outcomes. So it needs to be part of an overall picture where you're improving assessment, and then you're also improving and linking it to effective treatments and interventions. We in Oxford have developed two particular tools. One's called OxMIV and the other one's called OxMIS, and they're both online. And they are tools that provide a probability score for risk of violence and risk of suicide in people with severe mental illness. And I just want to say they're free to use. The algorithms and the coefficients are all published, so you can see how they've been developed, and they've been validated on very large populations of people. And so they're currently where we're working, and we're quite keen for people to use them, research them, and come to us with any potential collaborations going forward.